Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and I've got a little mini reading vlog for you guys today. I have been bad at this series lately. So sorry. I did the first one, which was like a massive project, which was reading the Literally Dead book club picks to be completely caught up so that I could review everything and like rank everything, because that's like the book club that I've been most active in, because there's too many book clubs, but I want to taste them all. I want to give them a try. I want to be a part of as many as I can. I love supporting my friends and fellow creators. It's super fun and cool. But I've been working on 3 of these, and I'm just doing a bad job at like producing them at like a timely manner. So we're trying to start again. That's the plan. We're going to try and do better at this series. This is the series where I read some book club picks from my friends' book clubs or other people on the internet. I pick out 3 or so books that I'm interested in and let you know how I feel about it. This book club will be Katrina Brown's book club, which is the Reaper book club. This one is incredible because they are focused on reading horror novellas, short and sweet, and we love to see it. We love to see it so much. I have had some wins. I've read Ling Hun from this book club, and I enjoyed it. And I want to say I might have read another, but I don't remember. But horror novellas just really hit for me. I really enjoy them. The Literally Dead book club this October are reading 3 different horror novellas. It's just something that like intrigues me. Being able to write something so spooky in such a short period of time makes it feel like a quick read. You feel like you're reading so many books because they're all like 100 pages or something, but also like the scare factors are a little bit intensified. Like it just happens quickly and eerily. So I'm excited to do this. Katrina Brown is incredible. So fun. I love and adore her channel. I love and adore her book club and her just overall her spooky vibe. Loves Halloween year round. It's so cool. I absolutely enjoy seeing every time Katrina is involved with readathons happening and jumps on sprints and stuff. I know that she is incredibly busy all the time, and I don't know how she does it. She is a superhuman. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it all. She's just incredible, talented, love to see it. I hope that this book club comes back at like a often increments. It went on a break for a little bit this year, and so I'm hoping to see more of it come back because I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed these discussions. Unfortunately, we are starting this book off with a womp of a story, so it's hilarious because Katrina actually really enjoyed this one. I think she gave it 5 stars. I gave it like 2 stars. So, I read Strega as my first pick for the book club, and I was kind of excited about this one. I truly didn't know anything about it. I just really liked the cover. I knew that it was translated. I really think that's all that I knew. The synopsis is pretty vague on its own. It's about this girl. I don't know if shipped or like is sent to work is correct, but she herself wants to get away from her family in a sense and goes to work as a maid, like a house cleaner in a hotel in the Alps, and it's a very strange book, and I don't know how to talk about it. The synopsis is she is one of like 9 or so girls working at this hotel, and there's like never any guests. It's just kind of weird. People don't really come to this hotel, but they're always working, they're always busy, they're always cleaning, and they've kind of got like a little bit of a found family situation with them. Like they all kind of grow close to each other. Sometimes there's like a little bit of girl drama, potentially somewhat queer. A lot of this book is incredibly ambiguous, and therefore it's hard for me to talk about because I don't know what I read. I don't know what happened. I don't have like clear answers of anything. So it's very difficult for me to be like, how do I talk about this book? Like I can't spoil anything because like nothing happens in the book. It's like spoiler. It's so confusing. If you like this writing style, you're probably going to enjoy the book. If you're into ambiguous stories, you might like this. It felt a little too ambiguous for me, and I like ambiguous in my horror. It was so strange. It was such a weird experience, and I don't know how I feel still. I read this a little bit ago before reviewing it, and I just like, how do I talk about this? I've watched the live show, and like this is nothing against the live show, but I watched the live show, and both Katrina and her co-host both gave it like 4.55 stars. Like really enjoyed this, and I'm so happy for them that this worked for them. I didn't glean anything further from watching the live show. I didn't like learn more. There wasn't like theories or anything that I got from it. It was just kind of like a well, I don't know. So interesting. It's very interesting. So we're following a girl, Rafa, and she meets this girl, Alba, and I think that they're gay. I think they're together. And then in the hotel at some point, a bunch of like, I think wealthy men, wealthy people come to stay at the hotel, and somebody disappears. One of the maids disappears, and they are trying to like get help, but also nobody's really taking it super serious, and things are just weird. Things are weird. It's weird, it's eerie. This story has like a little bit of like a potentially witchy thing going on, which I'm still confused about. My biggest gripe with this book was simply just the writing style didn't work for me. I don't know if it was the translation, I don't know if it was the narrator, I don't know what exactly it was about the writing that I didn't like, but it just, she did this, and then she did this, and then I did this, and I did that, and I felt like this, and I went and did this, and I felt like that. And I couldn't stop noticing how often the sentences would start with, like, it was driving me absolutely insane. I couldn't connect to the characters, I didn't care what was going to happen, or what did happen, everything was just kind of like, which sucks. I wish, like, more happened. I wish that I had more to say about this. The audiobook I don't think was bad, but just something about it did not click for me. It didn't work. I was bored. I didn't care. And this is like a short story, and I just wanted it to end the whole time. So I'm bummed by the first pick. I'll be honest. I'm a little bummed by this first pick. But that's that. That's Strega. I don't want to say that I recommend it. If it sounds something that you're interested in, and you know that you're getting into a book that's going to be weird and ambiguous, you might enjoy it if that's like your vibe. But yeah, this one just did not work for me. I'm hoping that Mosaic will work better, but that one I'm in the process of reading right now, and I'll check in with you guys when I have more thoughts on that one. But for now, it's just, I've read the first chapter, so I'm gonna keep reading that one, and I will clue you in when I have updates. Okay. Hi, I am going to be DNFing Mosaics. I'm sorry, I don't like DNFing books. It's not something I traditionally do. I've been skimming it so much. I read up to the 100 page. It's a short book. It's like, the Everand copy is 166 pages. It shouldn't take me this long to read. I am just so uninterested. I don't care about Robin. I don't like the writing style. It's just not working for me. I think that the church itself is interesting, having this like abandoned 100-year-old church, hundreds of years old church that has so much like history, but it's like impossible to learn about, and like there's something clearly going on there. I like Robin having this like expertise in stained glass windows and explaining that to us in the process and like what goes into it, and I think it's interesting, but not interesting enough to read just about that. I don't have enough like lore and information 100 pages in about the church and like why it's being revived. Like there's just been no answers given, because Robin herself doesn't care about what's going on. She's just like, this is a job, I am excited to be working with this antique glass. Like, she just, no questions, head empty, is just doing the job, doesn't question like the weird things going on around her. The only like tension and uneasiness is like, she doesn't like basements and crypts, so she doesn't want to go down into the crypt that was like discovered, which is fine, fair, but that's not enough tension for me. I think what I'm learning is I don't like cosmic horror. I don't think it's for me. I don't think it's the type of horror that I enjoy. I know that like if I made it to the climax, it probably would get more action-packed and interesting, and I would have been more invested into it, but like at this point, I just don't care. And forcing myself to finish reading this when I'm like genuinely just skimming it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So I think I'm gonna just DNF at 100 pages in. I'm not gonna track it on Goodreads or anything. I'm not gonna rate it, but it just wasn't working for me. I think the writing style is like the biggest part, because it really leaves a lot to be desired. I don't care about Robin and her narcissistic father whom she's cut ties with, because that's all she ever talks about is like her familial past, and I just don't care. I would definitely be more interested in conversations about like religion and the church and like things like that, and like learning the history and lore to that, but that's not really happening. And I think the stained glass window is a really cool thing. I think somebody like Books and Lala, Kayla really likes stories where somebody has like a mundane job and just explains and talks about it in depth, and like it's very educational in that sense. So that might be like beneficial if you like stories with characters who have not like typical jobs, but a mundane job nonetheless, where they talk about it and they have an expertise in it. I think that's interesting, but not interesting enough for the story. Yeah, I just feel like this story could have done a little bit more to be a little bit more gripping and keep me more engaged, and I'm a little bummed that I don't like it. But yeah, I'm just gonna cut my ties 100 pages in, 106 technically. I literally have 60 pages left, and I just can't do it. So, I'm sorry. I just, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, I'm gonna DNF. I'm gonna finish the last pick. I need to start and finish that. I'm literally like doing this day of upload because I've been reading Mosaics for weeks and I just can't do it. So yes, I'm gonna start the next book, which I'm so nervous about. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, how I feel. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I will take you along with that journey. But yeah, that will be a wrap on Mosaics. I am so sorry. Okay, hello. I have finished Gila, and I don't know how to talk about this one. I don't know how to review or rate this one. It's not a book I would typically pick up. It's very not my normal style. I don't watch these type of movies. I'm not really into like 80s horror monster movies. This isn't me. This is so out of my comfort zone in terms of like horror. It was fine. It didn't age well. This is written in the 80s. It feels like something from the 80s. Wasn't like my favorite ever. I wasn't able to find a live show for this, so I kind of just watched Katrina's wrap up, and she gave this 2 stars, and I think I'm also giving it 2 stars, mostly because I didn't have like a lot of fun, because it's a lot of like going to different characters and seeing them die, and so you don't really know them, so like you don't really care a whole lot, and the like doctor, researcher, and her partner are just like getting it on a lot, as like mass hysteria is happening. Like, things are bad. And I just didn't care about the characters. I didn't really care about this invasion of big lizards that have been contaminated from the atomic bomb that was dropped in New Mexico. And so I was like, But it's like, I also went into this knowing it's not my story. I tried to have an open mind. Again, it didn't age super well from the 80s, so there was definitely like the way that they talked about indigenous people was a little weird, and just like the misogyny, just like a little bit of everything kind of all wrapped up in here. It's just like a little not my taste, not for me. I don't really read like this type of horror. It's not typically my go-to. Like the paperbacks from hell type of books aren't my cup of tea typically, but I'm glad that I like tried something like this. I can say that I've read something like this. So it's a book in my arsenal, you know, if I ever need to whip it out for whatever reason. But I can say that I've read it. It was a time. The best part about this book club is simply the fact that they are all novellas, so it's very easy to like taste test a bunch of authors and different books and not have to dedicate so much time, especially if it's something you're not enjoying, which has, you know, been rough for me today with my, honestly, picks in general. This might just be one of those like bad times for me to read books because I'm not enjoying most of the things that I'm picking up, and it's not necessarily like anything's fault. It's just how it is right now. But it's definitely one of those books where I can say I read it, and that's as good as we're gonna get for this. But I did want to quickly just chat about Katrina's book club. So I know that there was a bit of a hiatus happening this year. Mosaics was the like first pick for the new year, and then we kind of continued from there. The books that I have picked up, which outside of like this video, were Ling Hun and This Skin Was Once Mine, and I actually enjoyed both of those significantly more. So it's interesting that like the picks that I chose for this specific video just like weren't picks for me. I know that Katrina and I differ on Strega, but we agree on Gila, and I think if I finished Mosaics, it would also be like a 2.5, 3 stars, maybe 2 stars. So I think that like we're pretty equally aligned, but it is interesting that the picks that I did choose were all kind of misses for me, when other picks that I've chose outside of a reading vlog have been wins for me. So I'm definitely interested in picking up the top row of books that I haven't yet read from her book club. Like, there's still like intriguing ones for me. I know that House of Rot was the most recent. That was a September 2024 pick, and so I'm not sure how everyone feels about that, but I am interested still. So it's definitely like, I'm not swearing off this book club at it by any means. I don't think that's really the point of these videos. It's more just to like have a chance to like participate in the clubs when I haven't been able to in the previous past. But overall, I do like this book club. I love that it specializes in horror novellas because it's so much easier to keep up with all the other book clubs happening around. And so I do appreciate that a lot. I'm definitely interested in checking out some others from this list. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow, and yeah, bye.